Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome to Terry TV. I should have my own theme song, but don't look now. Anyway, hi, Terry Hardin here, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer and pop icon. If you want to know what I've done, if you've never heard of me before, not a surprise. But you're welcome to look at my two Wikipedia pages. And you can check out, just Google me and stand back. I have done a lot, but I am 67. So that's probably why I've done a lot. I, pack stuff tight. Yeah, pack it tight in that little box as I continue to jump at opportunity whenever I have the chance. Welcome, everybody. I thought today I would talk a little bit about D23 because many of you are going and many of you have already gone. Yesterday was the Dodger game for D23 members. For those of you who are Disney people, don't ask me what D23 means. Someone here in the comments can tell you what it means. I, quite frankly, think they should have called it, Disney convention. But that's a different story. Anyway, I'm a very busy lady this week, and it hasn't really, the only part of D23 that it has to do with anything is that I've got a lot of people coming from out of town. And so they want to get together for coffee, have a breakfast, maybe have a meal. Are you going to be at D23? The answer is no, except for Sunday. I had a fan give me 2 tickets to Sunday, but usually I'm a guest there. And this year they decided to opt out on having me as a guest. Their protocol could be that I tell them that most of the time that convention irritates me. So why would they want me there anyway? I don't hate it when I'm there. I try to make it the best that I can do. The challenges with D23 is that they did a couple of things in the past that just annoyed me. One of them is the sorcerers division. That's gone. Yay! Do I even venture to be so narcissistic as to think I had anything to do with it? I think I had a tiny part because I added my voice as a guest to other people's voices. And that was that the Sorcerers was a ridiculous program that was completely unfair to all D23 members unless you had lots of cash. And the problem with you having lots of cash, and this is not a bad thing if you have lots of cash, but if you have lots of cash and you're an eBay seller, you got in to see the merchandise before anyone else. You cleaned it out. So by the time a person who had paid for a normal ticket went in to get merchandise, there was nothing left. It was already on eBay before they even went through the turnstile to get into D23. And that's offensive. I said to D23 in the suggestion box, which I shawshanked them with, I'm not going to lie. I sat there and I wrote to them over and over and over them. This is unfair. You can have the sorcerers come in, but limit what they purchase per family. This is a big deal. As I am collected all over the world, you've got to be specific sometimes. Per family. Because if someone comes in and thinks they're going to corner to market on your art, and they did do this to me one time, only to find out that all the fans rebelled, he ended up returning my sculpture pieces, of which there were only 10, by the way, and people were able to buy them after the fact. He thought he could raise it to extraordinary prices, but most of the people who buy my art know me and talk to me. So, because all you have to do is write me and I will respond. Okay. You've noticed that you write me in the comments, I respond. You can write to me at my website, TerriHarden.com, and I respond. You can join my Patreon page. Oh, yes. Maybe you don't know about the Patreon page. Well, look at me segue right into how you can do that. I have a Patreon page called Terry's Tribe. Your voice needs to be heard. I keep the admission or the opportunity to opt in and be a part of it to $5 a month. Now, there are higher portals that you can join. and walk through. That's your business. But 5 gets you a good start so you can kind of feel and see if you like it. There's a lot of good things as I have this over delivering thing that happens with me. But you get to talk to me live once a week, usually. Let me tell you that this Friday is D23 and I will be around because I'm going to ghost it like a Haunted Mansion ghost. Woo! Halloween is coming after all. Since I didn't get in on Saturday, I'll just be floating around outside. Maybe I'll go to the Hilton and have a coffee, but I'll let you guys know where I'm going to be. And if you want to swing by, if you're going to D23 and you want to say hello, you're just bored of being inside the venue. Maybe it's too many people. Maybe you can't get close to who you want to. Maybe you can't get the thing that you asked for. Come out and sit and I'll tell you a story or 5 or 10. Okay? All right. That's the way it works. Anyway, I'll be there Saturday. Sunday, I'll be walking the floor, not going to any presentations. I'll just be walking the floor because I've got friends who are coming, like I said, from all over the world and all over the country. So I can fill my day with just visiting with some of my friends, like the amazing Margaret Carey Tinkerbell. If you haven't met Margaret and you're going to D23, make sure you stop by her booth and say howdy. She is amazing. Also, take a quick visit to Mice Chat. They are one of the few people that report on Disney that is legit, not clickbait, true reporting. So I want to give a shout out to Dusty and his team. It's a great place. I used to report for them, and they often invite me to go back, but I would like to do something a little more short and sweet than long-winded. So I may get back on and do something for them, but at this point, I'm not a part of Mice Chat, but I love Mice Chat. Big hugs. I read them often. So they'll be there. That'll be great. Look for Bob Gurr because Bob Gurr is usually always there. Go by the Disney Museum. That's the family museum, Disney Family Museum, which is up in San Francisco area and is a great place if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it and you can't get up to San Francisco, this is a great opportunity, D23, to experience a taste of this amazing museum, the one that believes that Walt still exists instead of trying to erase Walt from the name and everything. They celebrate Walt as I do. So if you like to do that, that's really great. Also, the archives, which Terry's tribe loves above all else, it seems like, is the archives. The archives are going to have 3 full days of cool stuff. As I understand, they're on the 3rd floor. So please go up there, show some love, and get some beautiful opportunity to see things you just don't get to see. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be amazing. And you're going to be so glad you did. So this is something they're very excited because they've always been in a place that's too small for the amount of guests who want to come and see them. So now they get to stretch their wings a little bit. Because if it's your first time to D23, you know that the big presentations like the Legends Awards are going to be at the Honda Center. And I understand there's going to be like shuttle buses going to and from, but it's at the Honda Center. They have pulled it out of the convention center, another brilliant move, and they've put it in the Honda Center. So that way, if you're not interested in that stuff, and there's quite a few people who aren't, you'll get the opportunity to walk the floor, see cool stuff, while those who want to go to these big events get bussed and they go over there. And hopefully you guys will be a lot happier than you've been in the past. No more laying on the ground trying to get there, freezing underneath in a basement. They believe they've worked it out. I've also understood, I'm not quite sure when it starts. I forgot to ask the tribe this question, so forgive me. But the queuing up for your shopping spot, because you do it on your phone and they give you like a number or a ticket or something on your phone so that you know what time you can go in and shop merchandise. But the sign up starts or begins at like 4 a.m. So be ready, guys, right? If it's important to you, set your alarm and get up at 4 a.m. and make it happen. All right. If it's not that important to you, get up when you get up and sign up. I'm sure they're going to have plenty of places. But this is a smarter way to do it, I think. And I asked the tribe what they thought, and they agree. even though they think 4 in the morning is ridiculous, they are saying at least this is more fair to us, and no more early bird sorcerers who are eBayers. You see what I'm saying? So it's cool. It's really cool. Patreon is a great place. Terry's Tribe is a great place to get up to the minute reports on things like Disney and Lego and things that are happening creatively in your community, because I keep my hands on the pulse of many things besides Disney. For example, the Chuck Jones Red Dot auction is going to be coming up next year, and they have announced the theme, which is so good because they usually don't announce it until 3 weeks before the painting is due. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, and then I'll get back to the D23 and what a weekend this was part of it. Part of my weekend, I hosted Chuck Jones' family, son and wife and mom. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. They came and they visited with me, and we spoke about some things about the upcoming auction, which is next year's auction we're talking about. We're also talking about something that's happening around the October time. I opened that up to them and told them I love charities and I love this charity. So I want to be of service to them any way I can. So this is what this is about. But in a nutshell, all of you out there, you can do a painting or a sketch on canvas, and you can donate it to Chuck Jones to help their Chuck Jones Center for Creativity continue to offer classes for those who can't afford them, or to bring art into places where one doesn't necessarily have it in their school. So you get amazing artists. In fact, I've offered to teach a class there. It would be a different type of animation, as I am a puppeteer and I am a sculptor. I do draw, I do paint. I went there and learned a little animation because they teach children animation, and I like to be taught at child level. Very simple. And so it was very exciting. It's good to know, what I celebrate. But you do this painting, and then you're invited to get discount tickets as a guest artist to go to the actual gala. And we all know, if we host charity events or we've ever been to a charity event, there's no one better to sell your art than the artist who painted, drew, or created it, right? So if you can go, you're going to love it. It's in a terrific venue. You're treated completely VIP. So don't be fearful. You don't have to draw Bugs Bunny or any kind of the Warner Brothers characters. You are welcome to draw whatever you want, but they would appreciate it if they had those characters in there, and many of us do. This gives us time this year to do a Chuck Jones type painting where it might be a portrait of Chuck Jones, or it might be the characters. And you can put these characters in different venues. People like that too. Many people paint and draw Snoopy because there are Snoopy collectors there. There's Marvel there because, of course, there's Marvel collectors there. So it's a cacophony of amazing artists, and you can do it too. You donate it. Just Google Chuck Jones Red Dot and then sign up and write to them and say, I'm an artist, I'd like to donate. And if you're quick enough, they will send you a canvas. So you don't even have to pay for the canvas. You just have to pay for the medium that goes on the canvas. And it's really exciting. But those are the kind of things you learn about right here on my Patreon page. And then you help us to better understand that which you love, be it a charity, be it theater, be it the Ducks games. I'm learning so much about the Ducks hockey team, by the way. And it's a plethora. It's a cacophony of stuff. So $5 a month get you in. You can check it out. It's month to month. So, you check it out the month. See if you like it. If you don't like it, you're happy to bow out. We will say, go with love. We won't badmouth you. We won't give you any trouble. But it's been a great place for all of us to gather. You do have to be polite. You do have to be a good person. And you do have to want to help others, they will kick you out if you're mean. So don't be mean. Anyway, I invite you to join Terry's Tribe. That is another way to find me. So there you go. Let me hide this and go back to the comment section. There we are. Make sure I'm at the top of it. There we go. So, as I said, what a weekend. Because it started, as I said, with the amazing, I'm going to, yeah, okay. The amazing Jones family and the Red Dot auction and all cool things like that. And then I was invited to go to the Jim Henson Studios. I am a Muppeteer. I have been to the Jim Henson Studios, worked at the Jim Henson Studios, shot on the sound stage. Brian's been my boss since 1989. So I worked on the show called Dinosaurs, in which I was Team Baby Sinclair. So I have been a Muppeteer for quite some time. But they are doing something that they decided to do, like full-on theater type thing, which is called Puppet Up. Those of you who know about Puppet Up, you may have seen it in other times, earlier venues, so on and so forth. It's an adult puppet improv type show, and it's a lot of fun. And it's at the La Brea soundstage. It's at the Jim Henson Studios, which is at La Brea and Sunset. So if you're interested in checking it out, news came down the wire that the Hensons were going to be vacating that studio and doing something or going somewhere else. This is all true, but the timeline was a little vague. So I went Saturday as a special guest of my dear friend Kimberly, and shout out to the beautiful Kimberly Dominguez. Thank you. I had a great time. I love spending time with her. She's such a lovely person. And we are both busy ladies, so we don't get to hang out. And it was great to be able just to spend the evening with her. She's such a beautiful person. And we went. And I hadn't been to Puppet Up since the early years, when they were still trying to figure out if they even had anything. I'm talking about all the amazing puppeteers, and the teams change. No, I'm not involved. Okay. I'm a little too prudish to be involved, so no problem. But it gave me the opportunity to reconnect with Brian Henson. He was my boss for years, and we've been closer together than most people. Puppeteers spend time very close to each other, and this is going to sound a little weird, but once you've been performing from a toilet with your boss, there's really not a lot more you need to say, right? In case you wonder what that means, Team Baby Sinclair is a group of 3 performers. Kevin Clash, who does the voice, you all know him as Elmo, and then John Kennedy, who did the eyes from the Big One system, and then me, who helped and assisted with various mechanical arms or live arms, depending what was needed. There is a show on dinosaurs, and those of you who have Disney Plus, you can check this out, because the dinosaur show is not only on DVD, but also streams on Disney Plus. Now, someone said they also thought it was on Max. I cannot speak for that, but it is on Disney Plus. And the show is called Potty Training, where Earl decides to potty train the baby, and the baby sits on a dinosaur toilet, and Kevin Clash had another engagement. So Brian performed the baby's head manipulation. And then Kevin came in and laid down the voice afterwards. But Brian would often do that. In fact, Switched at Birth, I think, is the title of another one, where you've got the green baby dinosaur and the baby dinosaur. So you have baby, and then there's a green baby dinosaur. I think his name was Aubrey. So Aubrey was played by Brian, and Kevin did the baby. And I did arms. If it was a single shot, I did arms for both characters. And if it was a double shot, then someone else did arms while I did Team Baby Sinclair. But my point is that when you're that close to Brian, he's your friend, your colleague, your boss, right? I don't like wig out when I meet him, because I worked side by side with his dad, Jim, for 2 years. And then I worked side by side with him for about, over 10. Yeah, off and on, various projects I worked with him. And so he's a friend. And so I don't even take pictures. Like people said, do you get a picture? I don't take pictures. You don't take pictures. Well, I guess you do take pictures with your colleagues, don't you? But in my case, I never think to do it. I'm not a person, and the phone is like, please stay over there. I don't want you here 24/7 in my hand. Please stop talking to me. On Sunday, I turn it off. So that's my family day. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it, because it can monopolize your life, can it? So I'm one of those people that doesn't like that. I don't like it monopolizing my whole life. Some of you just live for it, and you go get them, tigers. For me, I like face-to-face encounters. I like sitting down with friends and having food and like talking to them. And yeah, I like the live stuff, the phone stuff. I enjoy this too. This has grown on me, okay? Because during the pandemic, for those of you who are new or you're not watching this live, or you came across the channel and said, what the heck is this girl talking about, or whatever, welcome and thank you for staying. Thank you. You never know what you're going to get from me, because it's just sort of my brain on this channel, right? And so some of you may like it, some of you may not. Doesn't matter. You do like you did when we had a TV. You change the channel. You do like if you have a radio station. You change the channel. That's all you have to do. It's no problem. We will not be hurt. We will not be upset. You just check it out. And if it's not your taste, no. That's what you do. But I went to see them, and it was great. It was great to walk across the studio. I haven't been there in a few years. I'm semi-retired now, so sometimes I work with them, sometimes not. They have a huge stable of Muppeteers, and they just reach into the box and grab a few that they need for whatever they need, and then they put you back in when you're done. And there you are, standing by, ready to serve if you're available or if they need you. And that's the beauty of the whole thing. Seriously, this is the beauty of what really happened when there were like practical effects, audio animatronics. I'm educated in everything in that level, audio animatronics, big one system, programming, whatever. So I can do it, but it's great that they call me on occasion, and sometimes yes, sometimes no, but I'm always there for them if they need me, right? I'm a bit of a Swiss Army knife, you will find if you Google me, because I sculpt and I design and I do cosplay costumes, which at the time were costume things. So there's a lot. I'm busy. I'm good. I love them though. And I loved going and having the opportunity to see Puppet Up since I saw it years ago. It's very different. And it's very good. The location, it's a great opportunity for you and go see the theater. If you're a Muppet fan, this is a great opportunity for you to come into the studio. As Brian said yesterday from the stage, Saturday from the stage, that it's a great opportunity for him to allow the public to come in and see Henson Studios and what the puppeteers do to train and create and to keep sharp, right? So I do this to keep sharp, honestly. Because your wit needs to stay sharp. The more wit you've got, the better I think you are. And your voice repertoire, things like that. There's all kinds of ways a person can practice. But this is a great way to do it and interact with your fellow people. And so it was great to see my friends up there doing their thing and doing such a fun job. But it also, you have a chance to do a VIP show. So if you go to the Jim Henson website or just Google Jim Henson or Google Puppet Up, it's the Puppet Up website, I guess. Go to Puppet Up website. They have a VIP tour you can take before, costs extra, but you can actually be walked around through the studio. They take you in places that they don't take anybody else in, and they tell you what's going on and so on and so forth. I've even thought maybe to do it myself. But it's great. It's cool. It's wonderful. So I told people do that and then go see a show. It is a great fun time. They're only going to be there for one more year before they vacate that premises. So jump on it, guys, and you're really, really going to love it. I had a great time. Got to see all my friends, got to reconnect, which is always fun. See them face to face, as I told you, I love it. And get a hug from them, and it was super. It was super, super great. So that's what's happening all week for me this week. Not everyone is Brian Henson, of course, or Drew Massey, etc., or Muppeteer or whatever. But there are a lot of you that are coming out for D23 that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm really excited to be able to connect with you and say hi and sit and have a coffee or whatever. I will be roaming the actual floor of D23 on Sunday, but Saturday I'm going to be ghosting it a little bit. I just want to make sure you guys are okay. I'm kind of a mama duck about that. So that's what's happening. So now let's go over and see what you have to say. Is there anything else I can tell you? Maybe. but it's not coming to mind because it's Monday. So let's check out what you've got to say. Crazy Mike, of course, says hello. And then he is doing his baby impression. I'm the Terry, gotta love me. Not the mama. So that's very, very cute. Very, very sweet. And thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate he says he missed me. Crazy Mike says, I missed you last Monday. Yeah, last Monday. Whew, what was last Monday? I even missed me last Monday. So what can I say? Let's see what he says. Oh, you're going to Walt Disney World. Oh, you're excited. Less than a month away. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a fabulous time. Walt Disney World is the mecca when it comes to vacationing because they have so many lands you can go to and so much to do over there. However, I do have to recommend, if you haven't been there, you got to go to Gatorland. There's nothing like it. Florida's very first amusement park was Gatorland. And now it's a little cheesy, but it's got real gators and people who wrestle gators, or I mean, it's like a blast from the past. So if you get a chance to go to Gatorland, I highly recommend it. I hope you'll check it out because I got to go every time I go to Florida. Yes, I love Disney and I pop into Disney, but I got to go to Gatorland. I love Gatorland. So it's right outside of Disney property. It's not far for you to drive, but you got to make it. It was the very, very first, in the 50s, I think it was released, Gatorland, and it still sort of has that flair. You know, if you've been, let me know. But if you haven't been, just go. I love wildlife. So I may not take pictures with my bosses like Brian, but I got to get a picture with a gator. So go figure. Here we go. Friday is my birthday and I will be 20. Jacob, no. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jacob. Happy birthday to you. All right, Jacob, congratulations. 25 is a great year. Means you can go to Hawaii and rent your own car. Woo! Congratulations, Jacob. You didn't know this was an iconic year, did you? Well, it is. And congratulations. Good for you. Yay. And everybody is wishing you a happy birthday. And looks like Jacob says he's going back to Disney World on August 29th through, see, he's excited. Do you see how he spelled September? He can't wait. That's what happens when you're excited. You know, I don't know if you saw the last card I did, but I realized I was excited and I spelled the words wrong. So I'm with you, baby. I know what you mean. September 5th, August 29th to September 5th. I wish you were coming to Disneyland so I could see you here too. But I'll shout to you and say, have fun. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a great time. Let's see. Mike says he lands at WDW September 3rd. So you guys could connect because you got a couple of overlap days there, don't you? If you'd like to, Jacob. That sounds kind of fun. Crazy Mike says 10 days. He should have written 10 fun-filled days, but we know it's fun-filled. So you guys are going to have a really good time, and congratulations. Congratulations. I'm sure you've seen videos on it, YouTube, but what do you think about the brand version of Country Bear Jamboree? It's different, isn't it? I'm still not quite sure what to think about it because everybody's excited. I mean, all of a sudden here at Disneyland, the bears are back in the woods. I see the characters again, and they've got new clothes. They've got new jackets. Forgive me, this is annoying. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now that I've done that, it will shut up. I would turn it off, but I've got one of those challenges with my mom again, so I've got to just be cool. There we go. Let's just do that. There we go. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay, good. Anyway, sorry. I hate when people do that. So of course I did it. But anyway, yeah, the country bears in Disneyland got new jackets, got new outfits, fur has been combed and brushed, and they look really good. I guess the answer to say, Jacob, is I love it because they're back. It's interesting because I just watched the movie last night again, yesterday afternoon. I was looking for a popcorn movie for Family Day, and that was the one my husband pulled up. I didn't even coax him to do so. And I remembered what a great opportunity it was to have a peek into the music world because I'm a movie person. Most of the people that I saw live in front of me, I didn't recognize because they were music people. But other people did, you can bet they did. You know, you got Bonnie Raitt walking in the door, and my goodness, what an honor to meet most of these people. Lead singer of Stray Cats, driving in a beautiful automobile, a really fun person. Queen Latifah, one of the most beautiful human beings to grace the earth, just a very attractive woman. And the thing is about Queen Latifah, if I may, is that I was having a conversation with a couple of friends of mine. Okay, let me just point out first that, and this is where Country Bear Jamboree put me into that mindset, Jacob. So thank you for that. But a lot of people focus on things that maybe they shouldn't be too concerned about, in my opinion. Maybe when you're young, you're concerned about this because you're, like let's talk about weight and weight loss. Okay, let's just talk about it. Okay, when you're young and you're going to wear a bikini, maybe this is something that is important to you. It was important to me to look good and so on and so forth. But I'm a character actress. So as a character actress, meaning the salt and pepper that surrounds the lead, I am rarely going to be a lead character unless it's a quirky character who's funny or different. But when it comes to someone like a Halle Berry, a Clooney, Angelina Jolie, etc., these are people who you think of in the leading roles. Someone who may or may not go outdoors without makeup. Me, you got to strap me down to put it on. I don't like makeup and I never will. The point is I'm a character actress. I celebrate every wrinkle. I love every gray hair. And if I'm a little pudgy, don't care. Why? Because I'm 67. As long as my health is good. If my doctor said to me, Terry, you're a little need, you could stand to lose a couple of pounds for your health, then I would work to do so. But at 67, I have things, and I think at any age, you have things you can do to spend your life without obsessing about things like weight. Like I said, unless you're unhealthy in this aspect. I want you to be healthy because I want you to live a good life. I don't want you to spend it most of the time sick. I wish this for you, okay? But to make your entire life about fighting your age, Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda. Can you imagine being Jane Fonda? The money Jane Fonda has, the notoriety that Jane Fonda has, and she chooses simply to try to not grow old. This becomes more and more a full-time job the older you get. It just does. And can involve extreme things like removing ribs or plastic surgery. And it still doesn't keep the age away. It may postpone it a little bit, but it doesn't keep it away. There are so many wonderful things you could do. As long as you eat right, take care of yourself, and exercise. And I'll admit, sometimes I don't feel like exercising. I'm going to be real. But I work very hard to eat right. Because in my case, eating does not make me heavy. Not eating does. Let me say that again. Not eating does. As an artist, it takes really work to make sure I eat. Because I'd rather paint or sculpt or draw or create something. This has been my MO since I was a little kid. I could go when I was younger for 3 days not eating. And for the full 3 days, I could create whatever I wanted and not, I drank some water. Maybe I ate a nut or two, little peanuts or something. I love Filbert's hazelnuts. But that's because the body was young and vital, and it was taking things from my body to feed myself because I was starving myself. And I didn't realize it as a young person. Because artists don't like to poop, pee, eat, or sleep. If we could keep from doing all of those and just create nonstop, we would. And so when our doctors used to say, eat less, exercise more, we would balloon up nicely, and we couldn't understand why. But it was because we weren't getting calories in. And that threw our metabolisms off so bad that when we stopped eating. So in order for me to maintain my weight, I must eat. And so what I have to do is to have a breakfast in the morning. And then I have to have something, if I'm creating, I have to have something over on the side to nibble on. Not cookies, but the key to my swing of the metabolism was edamame, because I love Japanese food. I love sushi. But I could keep a bowl of edamame right next to me when I was creating and just toss a few in my mouth. Or I love all types of nuts. I love cashews. I love almonds. I love sesame seeds. I love sunflower seeds. I love, what else is there? Just name them all, gobble them up. Hazelnuts, I love them. Go mad for them. Pumpkin seeds, love them. Sunflower seeds, love them. Seeds and nuts, love them. Love them. And so you can put a little bowl over here. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work. You see what I mean? And I nibbled the whole day. And someone taught me that by doing that, it reversed my metabolism, and I lost weight. When I hit age 60, I decided that my body seemed to like a perfect size 12. Now, my shoulders are more like a size 14 or an extra large shirt. This is because I've been a puppeteer since I was about 6. My arm's been in the air. My shoulders are very broad. So a large shirt depends on the shirt, whether or not it's going to fit my shoulders. Waist is always a bit baggy. This is a really nice shirt because this is I can't remember if it's a large or an extra large. I think it's an extra large, and it's a little here. It fits me in the shoulders. You see how it hits where it's supposed to hit in the shoulders, but it's a little less baggy in the waist because it's called a what do they call that? A tall cut or an athletic cut. It's a men's version. So I usually go men's version because they do that cut, because men have very broad shoulders and then they'll cut it in instead of leave it baggy. I don't mind it baggy. I don't mind having a baggy shirt. I mean, most of the time, let's be truthful, I sculpt wearing pajamas. Yeah, I've decided that maybe now I should start to look for cool pajamas, because 99.9% of the time, if I'm working, I'm in pajamas. It's my favorite thing to be in, is pajamas. Roll out of bed, wash up, put on fresh pajamas. Sometimes maybe not even fresh pajamas, just go and work. So, you got to know yourself as an artist. What do you like to do? Is your discipline that you could work in your office and never be disturbed? Yeah, pretty much. You're getting a lot of disclosures on the public channel. I usually keep to myself. But mainly, this is what is the deal with stuff like this. So I would much rather enjoy good food, good friends, good health, and then where my body wants to settle, I just let it settle. Now, how did we get on this subject? You're probably thinking, Terry, where did this come from? Queen Latifah. Because one of the things I said I have an amazing family. Like my husband Lindsay's mom and his sister, and friends like them who are worried about, if only, you hear this from women all the time and from men all the time. I don't know if men actually voice it like women do. I mean, I'm not focusing on any group, but some people focus on their weight more than anything else. And it kind of interferes with their fun. And I don't want you to do that. Okay. Pigeon feet and donut holes are not necessarily the answer for your diet. Okay. Celery sticks and carrot sticks are fine 5 days a week, but on the weekend, you ought to go wild and have a burger or something if you want to. Seriously, if you want. That's the reality of it. In moderation, have fun, right? But Queen Latifah had it down since I was younger. We did Country Bears in 2002, I believe. Well, we were shooting in 2001, and we all know what happened in 2001. September 11th, which is coming up. Well, Queen Latifah barely got out of New York. It was able to come and join us for the sequence that she was in the Country Bears. And it was impressive. It was very exciting. It was very soothing and comforting to hear from someone who was on the front lines, who would kind of give us an idea of what is it really like, there. She is just a wonderful woman. But Queen Latifah, you've got to admit, this woman is a curvy lady, very curvy lady. And when she walks into a room, she always looks fabulous. Every head turns. She looks fabulous, and she's not twiggy. You see, there's this misconception that you have to be built like a twig to look good. And that's not necessarily true. If you get yourself a good stylist, and there's lots of them, guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be the stylist of the stars. It's just someone who knows your body that can outfit you in clothes that complement what you already have. And I learned this very clearly when I did a show called Outrageous Pumpkins. They have a dresser for me and a stylist for me, and she is flippin' brilliant. So a lot of the times I'll come home with clothes that she has picked out, especially for me. So when I go out and I'm not able to wear my pajamas, I look cool. Simple, simple. I haven't lost a pound. I haven't done anything other than put myself in the hands of my stylist. She understands that I need to be comfortable and I need to look good. And she understands that I don't like to wear makeup and I like to be cool and comfortable. So she works with it. She works with what you need. Now, you may be saying to yourself, this is a very expensive investment. But if you are someone who speaks from the stage, or you're a singer, or you're a performer, and you really don't want to spend your life worrying about your weight, Oprah Winfrey, then don't. Get a stylist who makes you look good, and don't worry about it. Just eat healthy. Just work to be healthy as you can, and indulge on occasion in moderation, and live your life because you deserve it. And in the case of Oprah Winfrey, she's rich. So live your life, Oprah girl. We don't want to see you go up and down and up and down and up and down. Right now you're down. But we all know soon you'll be up again. And sweetheart, it's your life. All I want to say, regardless of, since I've never met you, so I hope you're a nice person, is that for you, I would like you to relax. I would like you to stop worrying, because I can almost bet dollars to donuts, that you are worrying while you're thin about becoming big again. And when you're big, people say things about you that aren't kind. Stop reading it, girlfriend. Just don't read it. If it's a negative comment, banish it from the cornfield. It's not going to affect you whatsoever either way. Just don't indulge on it. Don't give it any. Don't fill that vessel with any water. Does that make any sense? You know who you are, and you know what you've done, and you know how you've benefited people, or what you've done in your life. That's wonderful. So why look at these naysayers? You realize that no matter what shape you are, it doesn't matter who you are. If people are going to say nay at you and say bad things about you, they're just going to. They're just going to. And then you have to ask yourself, why are they so obsessed with you in the first place? Why is it so important that they badmouth you? Envy is all I can think of. E-N-V-Y. Envy. And does that really matter? Don't read that stuff. You start to see a bad word, close the book and go have fun. Play with your flowers like what's her name, the gardening lady does. and ride a yacht, go to one of your many homes. Why should you apologize for the success you've had? Why should anyone apologize? You worked hard for it. Did you not? What, you got it out of a Cracker Jack box? No, you didn't. Jane Fonda, I loved you as Barbarella. You want to live like Barbarella again? Feel that young thing? Watch Barbarella. Don't put yourself through what you're putting yourself through. I'm just saying, there's so many other ways. Life is so wonderful, so special. And as an artist, I see it every day. And I just can't get it. I can't like, I'm starting to paint, and there's so many things I want to paint. I won't be able to paint it all, but I'm excited that it keeps showing me opportunities that I could paint, because I'm just a beginner and I'm enjoying every beginning journey. In fact, very soon I will show you my journey in color analysis, where my paintings look very interesting. You may be saying, oh, they're going to be great because Terry's an artist. I'm a sculptor. That's my medium, clay. I don't work in the computer because there was none. And I love the feel of clay. And I love to work in wax. I love to work tactily, not here. Okay, that's just me. But I will share with you my painting journey. There have been highs and lows, peaks and valleys. And it's been a terrific ride. It's been wonderful, because mistakes are just as fun, just as important. Let me say that. Not always fun, but just as important as successes. Because if you're taking a class and you want to be perfect all the time, then the teacher says, wow, that's great, and moves on. You see, I don't like that. If I'm taking a class, I want you to tell me where I can improve, don't you? So why would you strive to do the best you can, right? But when the teacher picks you out and says, you could do this a little bit better, maybe shadow this like this a little bit, you love that. But if you get it all right, you wonder, well, what's next, right? Oh, that's amazing, Terry. I don't have any way to say any of that to improve on that. It's like, oh, man. You know, if you've ever watched the show Outrageous Pumpkins, where I'm a judge, this is why I'm able to critique the people that are on that show, contestants, because they don't compete to be perfect. They compete to get higher in the pecking order and possibly take the whole win home. Yes? So you constructively help them to improve. This is good. I'd work on this. I noticed you floundered a little in your time. So manage your time. You know, things that help. So thank you, Jacob, for bringing up Country Bears, which led me to the movie The Country Bears in my brain, and Queen Latifah, who I acted live as myself in that sequence and got a lot of FaceTime with Queen Latifah live. And I just loved telling her that I thought she was one of the most amazingly wonderful people that I had ever met. She was about loving the skin she was in. And I thought this woman should be a spokesperson for it, because she's just amazing. She's beautiful. She's elegant, and she's an inspiration to me. So just a thought, just a suggestion, but one I hope that you all consider taking to heart as you move forward. And for those of you who are looking at this after, or for those of you who are going, man, this channel is wild, it is. It is indeed. And thank you for saying that. It is indeed. Terry, have you been watching? Here we go. Terry, have you been watching The Ark on Sci-Fi? You can stream season 1 on Peacock. It's a great show. No, I don't have Peacock. So maybe I have to wait. But I will write it down so I go see it next time. I'll see it as soon as it's on. Yeah. What have I seen lately that I absolutely loved? I'm sure I said Beekeeper before. I'm obsessed with Beekeeper. I love Beekeeper. It's really good. What else did I see that I liked a lot? That was really interesting. Aftermath with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, this might be old because I was in the prime zone. But I really liked it. I didn't know if I liked it. It really got to me. I think I should have watched it in the daytime because it stuck with me. And it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, and I wasn't used to this type of Schwarzenegger film. I admire Arnold for doing a film like this. It's very not him. It's kind of, but it's not. And I liked it. I thought it was good. Afterwards, I said, "There's a message, a strong message," and I thought the message was good. I watched. What's the other one I watched that I thought was pretty cool too? I'll remember it in a minute. With Samuel Jackson, it was very good. But yeah, I try to just dig and read until I get excited about something. And then do I want to spend money to watch it? Because I mostly stream. I don't have any of the direct television channels, don't have DirecTV, don't have Dish, don't have any of that. I just stream. Okay. So, I have a DVD library that my husband and I continue to build because we don't want a streaming channel to tell us when we can and can't view something. So there's that, right? I also love to go on my Nicolas Cage-a-thon because Nicolas has done so many different movies, so much content. When you Google Nicolas Cage, instead of like a couple of movies with him in it, it's like pages. And it's just amazing. And the man does everything from wild and crazy Nicholas to very insightful, internal Cage, like in Pig. I don't know if you guys seen Pig, but he's brilliant in that. Absolutely brilliant. So different from what I'm used to. You know, I'm kind of used to the Nicolas Cage that's in The Rock, or the Nicolas Cage who's done. What else do I think of when I first watched Nicolas Cage? Con Air, I guess. That kind of character, you know. But if you just Google, or search Nicolas Cage on your device, whatever it is, Roku, flat, Fire Stick, I don't know the stuff. He just goes like that, just Nicolas Cage action, Nicolas Cage drama, Nicolas Cage weird. They actually have subtitles for all of the Nicolas Cage stuff. So it really is fun to see the actor go through all of these different phases, and it just shows how really versatile the man is. So yeah, I was really, really blown away by how fun it is to just Google Nicolas Cage and watch movies. Also, Jason Statham, which, look at me, I remembered the name. My husband, if he's watching, is going, woohoo, you said it right. Beekeeper person, but I saw him. I think my first introduction to him was Fast and Furious, where he plays the adversary. His brother is killed, and he's the one that's going after the team. I'm not a Fast and Furious person, but I got a screening, and so I went to Universal to see it, my first one, and I took my cousin, who is like, loves that whole series. And he explained a little bit of prelogue to me so that when I watched this one, I think it was 7 I went to see. I'm not sure. Anyway, I think that's the one that has Jason in it. Jason might have played a small role in the one before, but he's like the big villain in this one, and or one of them. Anyway, I said, this guy's great. This guy's amazing. So I went home and Jason Statham, and all of a sudden the transporter things came up, or the mechanic came up, and I realized that the guy is really a great martial artist. He does some beautiful martial arts, and I remember seeing him first in, I believe it was Transporter 1, where he tears off a couple of bicycle claw shoes for pedaling in a bike and does a fight in oil, because it apparently grips the ground, and it's kind of a tap, kick, and then all this great stuff he does. A lot of cool things that involve walls and doors. Very impressive. In Beekeeper, he does a few things that are just mind-boggling. So good that he's been a favorite of mine. In fact, my husband said, "Did you ever see him in I think he called it, what was it, Freaks? Something like that." No, that might not have been it. My husband will tell you it's one word. Anyway, I loved it. I couldn't get over it. I wasn't good with the sequel, but it's the first one. You guys probably remember it because you're better with movies than I am. But it's the one where he races against time to keep from being dead because he's been poisoned. So he has to keep his adrenaline up, and it's brilliant. It's flippin' brilliant. It's flippin' brilliant. You know, there are movies that people do that are just absolutely weird. And when you see them, you go, oh my gosh. Like, I'm someone who's not into gratuitous sex. Just don't like it. Just stop. Okay. I'd much rather they close the door and keep it amongst themselves. If you really want to know my position on the matter, you know, but Nicolas Cage has a movie called Drive Angry, and that sex scene is unflipping believable. Every time I see it, I say, how, what, crank. That's what it's called, crank. It's not whatever I said before. And the Jason one called Crank, there's another one. And you okay, uncle, I think they were necessary. And you're shot, you're laughing, you're shaking your head. It's just unbelievable. There are two scenes that are just, anyway, lots of entertaining fun popcorn movies, but definitely fun movies. So I have not seen this, what you're talking about, but I do watch a lot. Yeah, I do watch an awful lot. I love it. I do. There's just things that you wouldn't believe. One of my favorite movies is Sisu, Sisu, foreign film. And the lead actor barely says 2 words. I think most of the time he speaks. I think when he talks, it's at the end. Otherwise, he doesn't talk at all. And it's brilliant. It's like a graphic novel, live action graphic novel. And I love it. And my husband said when he first saw the previews, he knew I'd love it. And I love it. I mean, I love it. But I got to watch it. I can't have it in the background because I'll watch it. So there's movies I can have in the background that I know so well, like Gladiator with Russell Crowe. I can practically recite it in my head. Downton Abbey series I love. Doc Martin, Downton Abbey, Ted Lasso, and I can't think of the other one. Well, Dead Like Me, only 2 seasons, but I loved it. Anyway, these I can say here because I love them so much that I can practically recite them. So I can sculpt and they can be on behind me and it's playing in my mind's eye. So this is what I do instead of music, because music I dance to. So I can't, dance while sculpting. So this really does it for me. And I remember from looking at the sculpture what movie or series I was watching when doing it, which is pretty wild, So anyway, I know that's a lot to be saying about based on the show, but I'm in that kick, aren't I? Yeah, I am, Mike. So yeah, we do discussions like this on the tribe all the time, just this crazy, crazy stuff. So that's it. June says, good morning. June Martinez, how are you? I should send you some pictures of me. I came across some great pictures of me and Oscar. Wow, they are really something when he was still working at the Carnation Plaza or whatever it's called now. It was great. I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, just some cool pictures. Just, it was great to see him the other day. And then I came across him and said, man, I got to come over to your house and we got to shoot the breeze sometime because what a great guy. Anyway, I really thought it was great. And Crazy Mike says she likes live stuff, but on Halloween, she likes dead stuff. It's true. It's true. Yep, it's true. If you ever want to hear some of my odd Halloween stuff, I'll share it with you. Not today, but I got to prep you for that. I shared it with my friend Ralph, who, if you looked at the thumbnail today, you saw this amazing, wonderful face looking at Boba Fett, like, kind of like, because he went to Disneyland. He is in town. He's from back east, and he is my co-judge on season 4 of Outrageous Pumpkins. I wanted to feature his picture today because I just wanted to give him a little love. He is such a talented guy. And if you recognize him, he used to be on a show you may have enjoyed or may not have called Cake Boss. He was the sculptor. He sculpted in fondant. He sculpted in chocolate. He sculpted in edible materials and is very, very good at it. But that's because he's a good sculptor. So he gets that gig. He does that for a while. And then he moved over to our show for a couple seasons. And what a delight, because he loves Halloween. And that's the way you got to say it. Loves Halloween. Just loves it. He just obsesses over it. And he was a wonderful co-judge. And so he came out here to do some toy design, because I told you he was a sculptor, didn't I? So he's also loves toys of all kinds. And Mattel brought him over to design some toys for them. And he's been working with Mattel on NDA stuff. Nada. No. NDA meaning non, as you know, you cannot talk about it. That's what it means. Do not talk about it, or we will have to hurt you. So he just came over to visit me because he knew he was a stone's throw away. And we chatted about all kinds of wonderful things, including being a sculptor and loving everything about the human body. That's me. And he was kind of like, ooh, you know, when I told him a couple of things. But I thought you guys would like to see this picture, because he hadn't been to Disneyland in a very long time, and he wanted to see Galaxy's Edge. So of course he's kind of he's kind of a joker. He loves to joke with people. And so he walked up to Boba Fett and he said, smile for the camera. He stood next to him. He said, smile for the camera. And of course you can't see Boba Fett's face. So I'm sure Boba Fett said, really, dude, you know how many times I get this in his head, like the Kung Fu Panda. But he then turned to Ralph and said, Olga's Cafe needs a comedian, and you don't need to be that good. I think you'd be perfect. He told him after the photo. Which is probably why that picture looks like it does. But I thought it was a cute story, a very cute, sweet story. And I thought I'd celebrate him a little bit. And I thought maybe some of you would recognize him, which is why I pulled him up. But what a great guy. And it's great to see him here in town. Joe says, hey, Terry, thanks for the birthday wishes. You bet, Joe. I saw that and said, I've got to wish you a happy birthday. And I hope you had a good one. June says Oscar's birthday is August 6th. We'll be turning 89. Oh, he's so young. Does he get that a lot? We will be visiting the parks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oscar's excited for his birthday week. We hope to see you someday this week. I hope so too. I won't be at the park, however. I am haunting D23 on Saturday. I'm looking to maybe be in downtown Disney on Friday, and then Sunday I'm at D23. But you know you're in my heart all the time, and maybe at some point I can connect with you. Maybe we can visit you at your home or whatever. But Oscar, knock 'em dead, baby. You know you always do. It's always a pleasure to see such an icon. Talk about someone who should be made officially a legend. That's you. And I love you bunches, June. I love him so much and love you so much. So thank you for popping in and sharing that with me. Happy 89th birthday. Mwah! Good for you. Outrageous Pumpkin Season. Be here before we know it. YouTube. It's YouTube chat. Doesn't have a pumpkin emoji. Just kidding. Yeah. Now's the time to pester them. June Martinez says, wow, 3 days in a row. That would exhaust me, says Joe. Yeah, it's Oscar 3 days. Okay. So he doesn't necessarily go for the full 3 days, but he does. June works really well to let people know when he's going to be around and the best they can to where he's going to be. And then he spends, June, a few hours, and then off he goes home, rests. Then he might come back in the evening because he lives nearby. But yeah, they take care of each other very, very well. So it's pretty cool. Mike says, how are you today? It's Monday. So a little crazy, but excited for what's in store. Thank you for asking, Mike. See, 2 hours, take a break, back for another 2. You see what I mean? They live close enough that he can take breaks in between and recuperate. And June, knows when it's time for him to take a break. Sometimes he'll say to her, time to take a break. But most of the time she's like, okay, buddy. Kind of like my husband, you need to eat. Or some of my tribe who goes with me. they'll bring me something to eat. You haven't eaten in a while. I need to watch after you because you forget. So I forget, and I'm nowhere near 89. So congratulations, my love. Um, um, June Martinez, that's a good idea, says Joe, and I agree. Let's see what Mike says. Our food order from Amazon is around 80 for Disney and other stuff, around 100 to 150 a lot for stuff we're having shipped to the hotel, so we don't have to pack it. It's a good idea. It's a real good idea. Yeah, because yeah, you would end up packing it a lot. Joe says, did you hear the news about 7-Eleven in the USA? Things will be changing a little bit soon, and we'll be able to get more fresh and cooked meals there, possibly including some items that are popular in Japan. 7-Eleven has been a subsidiary of Japan's 7-Eleven company since 2005. I did know that, Joe. And if they bring back warm milk tea, I'm in. Because that's what I went to 7-Eleven for, was milk tea in Japan. I knew I could stop in there and go to a vending machine and get milk tea, which their milk tea. So good. So good. Love that. So that would be very interesting. They also have fun little, it'd be kind of neat to do some Japanese style food, because some of their food is so interesting and fun that that could be very, very cool. Price wise, we got to figure, nowadays what cost us a couple of bucks is in the double digits, isn't it? So you just got to be prepared for that change, don't we? Yes, indeed. My favorite Wheel of Fortune category is person, proper name. Okay, you want to give me an example? Have you watched the Equalizer on CBS with Queen Latifah? No, I don't get CBS, but maybe it streams somewhere, so I will look it up. But yeah, like I said, I stream everything, so I don't necessarily stream CBS. I stream KTLA 5. But yeah, I don't get to watch enough TV to have a direct TV. It's just not worth it, You're watching your stuff and you're saying, hey, do I really need to stream 1 million channels? No, I have like 2 or 3. And then we have our DVDs, which is where we just keep. So I can just go and push loop. That's me. My husband says that if he comes in and the picture's green, I don't seem to care. That's because I'm kind of doing something else while watching it. I'm watching with my ears, not necessarily my eyes. I'm so glad I brought my tea out here. She was good in the movie too, says Mike. Peacock is free to some, not all of us. And Mike says, I look nice today. Yes, I'm in my Mickey Mouse shirt. I'm modeling it for you now. I like this shirt. Yeah. I'm always looking for something that looks good on camera, because my husband says, look for something that looks good on camera. Joe Penny says, Nicolas Cage, actor, leaving Las Vegas. Very good. Peggy said Sue got married. Also good. Valley Girl, I haven't seen in a while, so maybe I'll check it out. But the ones I've seen lately that I love, Joe, are Drive Angry and Lord of War. Yeah, I love that one. Love it a lot. Yeah, and then there's one called Knowing. I also like very much. That I've seen lately. And his latest one, well, not his latest, because his latest isn't available for me to stream yet, unless it's a lot of money. But what is it? The retirement plan. The retirement plan. He plays a retired guy, and of course, my husband's retired and I'm semi-retired, so of course we're gonna love this one. I love that one. I love that movie a lot. Love it a lot. So yeah, there's tons of them. I could go on because Nicolas Cage just doesn't seem to disappoint. There is a really weird movie that he did that I helped build a little bit for, about the guy who is inside a Chuck E. Cheese type place, and the toys and the Chuck E. Cheese creatures come to life and murder people or something. Anyway, he doesn't say anything in that movie, not one word. And it's really a twisted movie, and not really one of my favorites, but I did help with some of those creatures. So I at least checked it out. Let's see. There's an old buddy cop movie with Stallone and Kurt Russell. I forgot the name, but it's good. Well, wait for Joe Penny, and he will tell you when it came out, because that's the beauty of Joe Penny, the birthday boy, actually. And we'll find out. Okay, and we'll know. Tango and Cash, great movie. That's it. See, it didn't even take long, did it? Didn't at all. Did you see the emails I sent you? Yes, I did. It looks very good. I didn't answer most of them, but that's because my husband had surgery on Monday, and before that we were prepping for it, and then now he's good. Everything's done, and now we're just on the road to recovery. He's doing great, and I think when you have someone you love going in for any kind of procedure, that you are telling yourself all the time they're going to be fine, but it's nice to be on the back end of it and say they are fine. That's all I'm going to say on that. But definitely, yes. Terry in Gatorland, when a gator needs help, do they apply for Gatorade? Oh, you are cute. You are competing with Joe Penny now. Just so you know, Mike. The Equalizer is available on Apple TV, and I subscribe to Apple TV, so that's perfect. So I'll check it out. I would love to see it because I love her very, very much. She was a great person to work with and a wonderful colleague. I mean, yeah, I took to her. Most people in the Country Bears. I had a great time with all of the bands that were featured, all of the performers, all of the special guests that were there. And I got to meet my heartthrob at the time, Christopher Walken, and actually work opposite him, because in that movie I play Big Al. And of course, he plays the person that has the man who's going to destroy Country Bear Hall and has those little innocent tete-a-tetes with Big Al. And yeah, there's some stories I can tell you about behind the scenes. We had such a good time. He was just lovely. You can also watch it on CBS.com. Now I'll watch it on Apple TV. It's there, so why not? Who recommend Drive Angry to you, Terry? Don't know. Yes, I know, right? And the thing is that I just went down the list. I noticed that he did one, is it called Sunny, that is his directorial debut? Not one of my favorite, but definitely interesting movie. But literally, I just kept going down the list of his stuff. What is the other one that begins with M? Misty, Mandy? Did not like that one. Don't care if I ever see that one again. But there's a watered down version that he's in of that same movie. Like, there's that movie that's really gritty and scary and creepy for me. And then there's a watered down version of the movie. And I can't remember the name of that movie, but it's like the same story, but a little kinder and gentler for those of us who felt that the first one was a little intense. And yeah, so I don't want to watch that one, but I don't mind watching the watered down version. So there's a place for watered down versions, So Joe says Stallone and Kurt. Okay, he got it. Jacob says you're funny, Mike. Hey, Terry, this is CBS was a famous quote. This is CBS was, indeed. Speaking of Christopher Walken, says Joe Penny, I recently saw his movie debut in The Anderson Tapes, 1971. with Sean Connery and Diane Cannon. It was so cool to see him so young. Isn't it? Isn't it cool to see these guys and these men and women so young? I mean, seriously, I watched a movie. I love it that Tarantino and Scorsese and everyone recommend. My husband would know it, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. I grabbed it immediately. What I'm talking about is Samuel Jackson has hair. Just blew me away to see Samuel Jackson like a baby and he has hair. I was like, whoa. I gotta tell you, I'm with you, Joe. I love watching them young. And you just go, oh my goodness. Right? It's like, wow. Seeing them so young is fun. It's fun to see. You know what else is cool, Joe, is that you see their body of work, what it took for them to be the icons that many of them are today. It's not like suddenly the light turns on and they're brilliant. You start to see their characters that they started at that were a line or two, and then maybe it was a supporting role, and then maybe it was a TV role, and it's just cool to see them young. Clint Eastwood's one of my favorite, watching some of his old TV shows and where he's there, or even what is it? He plays a pilot in a sci-fi movie that I love. And it's him. And it's exciting. Lee Van Cleef, I think he plays a reporter in one of my sci-fi movies. And you're just like, look at him, he's so young. You just get all excited about it. So I'm with you. I think that's just great. Just really great. Crazy says his sister had to get a child-proof lock for the refrigerator in her room because Loki, her cat, can't open the door with his paw. Well, it's the cat's name is Loki. What did you expect? Diane Cannon says Michael Morris was on the Muppet Show. Indeed, she was, and she had a great time. But wasn't everybody on the Muppet Show? Another thing you can stream on Disney Plus is the Muppet Show, the original one, Jim Henson's Muppet Show. Also, if you haven't seen it and you have Disney Plus, watch the documentary. It is really good about Jim Henson. I could add some things in there because Jim Henson and I worked together very closely before he passed off, just FYI. And there were some things I didn't know, and it was really lovely to hear some of how he felt about some of the things that he did from his family and friends, and really good. Also on Disney Plus. Mike says, have you seen Black Dog with Patrick Swayze and Meatloaf? Great movie, lots of action. No, I'll have to look into it. I met Meatloaf on a plane going home. You can't get over how many people took Southwest before the pandemic and didn't, you think someone like Meatloaf would be first class all the way. I mean, after all, it is Meatloaf. But no, he flew Southwest, and I met so many fun people on there. We both did. My husband and I both did. When we flew Southwest, you can run into some people who just want to save a buck. They're smart. They manage their money. Yep. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. I will make sure and watch Black Dog because that sounds fun. I'm always looking for stuff. Mike, you're very good with the suggestions. With all these rolls, is there butter or cream cheese? Smoked salmon. That's what there is. All right, guys, it's Monday. I'm going to run. I love you. Hugs, loves, kisses. If you're going to D23 and you're going to be there on Sunday, please look me up. I will be wearing my skull coat, and you know what that looks like. And if not, maybe we'll catch each other in other places. Please remember, Friday, I will not be broadcasting, but I may have a little something special to show you. So even though I won't be here, it might be a cool pre-recorded thing. Just wait and see. And I will return and talk to you the following Monday. That is the day after the D23 convention. Okay. Do something nice for someone else. You know it will make you feel better. So don't go into the dark abyss in depression or you're feeling bad. Climb up long enough to give a phone call to someone you haven't spoken to, or just give yourself a moment. All right. And do something nice. It's going to just go all over your body and do something good for you. And know that I love you, care about you, and I'll see you later. Be good, be safe, be well, and by all means, have fun.